Yep. And yeah, this is going to be the second game of this best of 3 series. I know it's kind of weird, grand finals being best of 3 instead of best of 5, but that's just what it is actually. So reversal in colors, we have Rising Stars Though spawning in as the blue Night Elf player in the top left. Off racing, like I explained in game 1. Going for the standard Ancient of War, actually, something to point out since he did that completely differently in game 1. His opponent is going to be his human rival, Yumiko, representing DHC, or TC, which one? Either one. I'm not sure if TC actually kicked off. Yumiko spawning in as the red human player on the top right, losing game 1. He did play rather solidly in the opening minutes, maybe the first 7, maybe 8 minutes. He played well. I mean, he didn't really do anything to try and adapt against those I guess uncommon strategy. Even I didn't think it would work out well, but it did. Beastmaster outscaled basically the Archmage. The Goblin Alchemist was interesting, but like I said in the last fight, I think, although healing sprays were nice, units were either full health or 100 to 0'd, and healing spray can't really deal with that. Not as effectively as, I guess, Holy Light from Paladins. But yeah, the Acid Bomb was kinda nice. The area of effect, armor reduction, as well as damage over time could have been potentially worth it, but it didn't actually turn out to be, though producing those archers. And it is once again going to be an Altar of Elders being delayed, so this is, I'm pretty sure, 99% Dark Ranger, but there's also that 1%, it is going to be the Beastmaster again. Well, maybe because it's Though, I would say 60 Dark Ranger, 40 Beastmaster, but there we go, Dark Ranger is going to come out, and yeah, I'm pretty sure Though has been one of the Night Elf players that went for Beastmaster first, nonetheless. But, you know, seeing as we have an Archer-themed army already, it would be rather surprising that Though didn't go for a Dark Ranger. And I still kind of rest my case on this, but the Dark Ranger hasn't really impressed me that much. I did call it a little bit of a swarmer play style, because you generally swarm your enemy with the living corpses of your enemy's units, or just creep camps in general, and that generally makes up the bulk of your army, which is rather weird because, I mean, Shadow Priests can be picked up from the mercenary camp, priests can be trained up from a Keep Tech human player, and that would generally shut down those dark minions, but Though is taking the chance, and he's taken a pretty smart chance. Yumiko is actually not going to go for a Keep Tech anytime soon. He is going for a second base, and that's good for him because that delays the priest production quite a bit. Ancient World creeping at the Ogre Magi camp. The Yumiko will spot the Dark Ranger, not only there, but also firing back at the Archmage. He does have +6 claws, so might be able to deal some damage, but the Dark Ranger, Pin of Energy from the Renegade Wizard camp, does have plenty of mana to spare with the Black Arrows. Level 3 is being gained, so we will most likely have the level 2 Black Arrows. Silence might be the second ability, but we have yet to see it actually being needed. Tree of Life most likely going to be cancelled by Though. Yumiko forcing that on him. We do have the Murlocs being pulled over, but I'm pretty sure Though would like this, unless Yumiko is going to go for some base harassment himself. I mean, it's not really going to do much. As we can see here, 4 dark minions. They are less effective compared to the skeletal minions from the Road Necromancies, but, you know, they are free, relative, compared to the Rod Necromancy. Plus, you don't have to be undead for it. We can see the normal dark minions. This creep camp's basically the best on this map for it, because there's just so many murlocs, and I mean, more murlocs means more skeletons, and we have about 7 level 2 dark minions going over and most likely going to harass Yumiko's base, but there is double arcane towers, so he does have that working out for him. Feedback damage will do considerable amount of damage against these guys, and seeing as 2 of them already taken down before they even reach the mineral line or gold line, yeah, this is gonna be rather interesting, because that's generally how this playstyle plays out. Like, clear a creep camp or 2, spawn a bunch of skeletons, and then send them to your opponent. Not as effective against human players, because they can get out those arcane towers to just deal additional damage against some units. But wow, instead of creep camps, Yumiko is just giving away his footmen, and that is not a good sign. There's also another murloc camp here. It's not that numerous as the previous one, but yeah, just saying that is a potential spawning ground for Tho. And those black arrows do indeed hurt. They hurt hell of a lot, actually. Second hero might be coming up, and it is going to be a panda. Tree of Ages is done. Hunter's Soul nearly done as well, so we will be seeing the standard transition, or at least a transition into a more of a standard building layout consisting of double Ancient of Lores. There we go with the first double Ancient of Lore. And once again, these skeletons, no problem, they're free units, and more skeletons will be popping out thanks to just killing these peasants right here. We did see the arcane towers trying to just focus fire those heroes, try and reduce their mana pool as much as possible. Dark Ranger is now out of mana, but pretty much the skeletons have done a fair amount of damage, and the one and only arcane tower will be destroyed. TP scroll will be forced, and yeah, Tho might lose himself a Shadow Priest, mainly because of the Murloc Huntsman right there, but it's fine by him, I guess. TP scroll is still available for the Dark Ranger. We do have the Militia hunting down the final troll Shadow Priest, and we will have a level 2 being gained on the Panda. There we go with the Breath of Fire before any sort of Drunken Haze shenanigans right there, so maybe less damage output than I would have expected. Now what would be a really good opportunity to take is just turning around for that Archmage. I mean, if you could get surround on that Archmage, then I mean you have a higher chance of killing him, because he just uses TP to defend this base. Dark Ranger, probably not as effective as she used to be, because she is out of mana. She does have Clarity Potion, maybe should use that right now. We have a footman trying to just be an annoyance. So far he has done a little bit of damage, but the Dryad is now out. I'm not sure if he can actually solo that footman, but I mean, hell, it looks like he can, or she can. So Tree of Life has been spotted, and TP staff coming in from the Archmage. He will just force a cancel again on those expand. It's not like this expand is entirely killing Tho's economy right now, but it is kind of delaying his second Ancient of Lore. Or at least that's what I think. Ancient of Wonder has been taken down, the forward one next to Yumiko's expand. Abolish Magic is being queued up right now, so I mean, Tho needs a more effective way of dealing with these water elementals besides just attacking it, so yeah, Abolish Magic is needed. Plus Dryads only have one spell anyway, which is Abolish Magic, so you know, don't have to worry about mana costs whatsoever. Okay, this Murloc camp that I have pointed out before will be cleared out, so a total of 4 skeletons will be spawned from this one. Elemental once again, just moving on and trying to deal some harassment. But it won't be that effective since Tho has swatted that out so early on. Invisibility potion, or not, that might have been the invisibility actually. Or I could be mistaken, that is the invisibility potion. So yeah, just trying to find any windows of opportunities right there. Mountain King has been hired up as the second hero for Yumiko. He is clearing out the mercenary camp. The renegade wizard will be dropping himself, hopefully a good item, boots of speed. Not that good, but oh well. Plus level 2 has also been gained. Dark Ranger is going to clear out this Murloc camp right here. Greater Dark minions have or are spawning from this camp. A little bit of a missed opportunity right there on getting that that other Murloc, but oh well. 3 Greater Dark minions have been spawned. Maybe they'll deal some damage to the main base. Ooh, lots of creeping coming out over here for Yumiko. Thunderclap, as we have seen, has been trained up. Footmans are going to receive a lot of damage from both the Drunken Fire as well as the Black Arrows from the Dark Ranger, and the Dark Ranger will claim this Murloc camp for herself. And the Mountain King was taken down by the Dark Ranger as well. Sorry I didn't see that, but it basically was the Dryads able to intercept that Mountain King, and the Dark Ranger was able to get the last hit off. And surprisingly enough, Tho is making this work. Breath of Fire nicely done right there, able to hit 2 out of 3 of those footmen, killing 1 and just leaving the others pretty low health. Tho actually going for a mass Dryad comp. However, he is looking to transition out of it into bears since he is going Tree of Eternity right now. Yumiko has a lot of gold in the bank, but I mean, he's not really using much of that. He needs probably just a full roster hire from those mercenaries, because he needs units right now. He only has, well, he does have 45 food worth of army, but I really can't see that anywhere. It could just be from peasants. But anyway, we have the Mountain King once again being popped out over here, but the Dryads are gonna be the ones welcoming him back. And if you don't know, Dryads are a Night Elf, and Mountain King is a dwarf, although he is in the human side. So lots of feedback damage on the Panda, or at least just the mana, in terms of mana, so he is going to be manaless for quite some time. Having Pin of Energy is not generally that helpful either, because that's just more damage being utilized right there, and the Panda is going to be preserved. He will be just regenning from those Moonwells. Ultra Vision is being upgraded, researched as well. Another farm falls for Yumiko. This is not good for Yumiko at all, because he's just forced to rebuild those farms, and that's taking quite a bit of resources, especially lumber. He is having a lumber problem for quite some time. So yeah, which is why I think he should just hire up the full mercenary camp. Stormbolt on the Druid of Claw, but there's pretty much no follow-up whatsoever. As soon as the Stormbolt's tossed out, the Dryads and the other ranged units are focusing against either the Mountain King or the Archmage, so yeah.
The town is under siege.
Nothing too interesting is going on. Finally, Tho was able to construct his expand. Massive training has been done for those Druids of Claws, so they can transform into those bears. They can't utilize roar in their bear forms just yet because they don't have the research, but I mean, keeping one in druid form just for that one rejuvenate is a smart idea for Tho. And of course the feedback damage is a little too much for those bears, so they are going to be manaless. They can't actually transform back to druid form anytime soon. Double pin of energy for the panda as well. It's quite a lot. Plus we have a silence on top of the casters as well as the archmage as well, so yeah, just trying to control Yumiko as best he can. And Stormbolt's just trying to pick off that panda, but the panda's he generally gets out of range as soon as he gets Storm Bolted. Breath of Fire doing a lot of damage. Another one could potentially kill all of these peasants right here, but the priests are going to do a very nice job right there and heal him back up. Scroll of Healing has been used, Invulnerability Potion will be used for the Archmage as well. Just, I don't know, something ticked for that panda and he went straight after that Archmage. Did a lot of damage actually, forcing an Invulnerability Potion to be used as well. So far Yumiko is on the back foot once again, though just cannot stop it against anyone he plays. Maester upgrades +2 is done for Yumiko, so his buildings are not to be laughed at actually, but it's still being laughed at by Tho. Lots of spellbreakers being queued up right here for Yumiko. He also has a scout machine as well as a couple of mortar teams as well to hopefully eventually counteract this siege. Yumiko has done a nice job keeping his keep alive for now. Slows are going to be utilized to try and reduce as much damage from those bears as possible. Nice drunken fire right there. I'm not sure if it's going to kill those red hit point peasants, but it will lead into a very nice just combo later on. There we go. Nice Breath of Fire killing at least 5 peasants. And the TP is going to come in from the Archmage. TP Scroll utilized to try and bring those Spellbreakers into the fight, as well as the mortal teams at the back. So slowly but surely Yumiko is pushing out Tho, but like as you saw right there, Tho has done so much damage to this siege already, taking out a lot of peasants with that just level 4 panda. It's getting pretty worth it right here. Very close to level 6 on the Dark Ranger as well. Dark Ranger is probably one of my most favorite, I guess, level 6 heroes ever, because I could probably steal a worker, preferably an off-race worker, and then just like rebuild another like entirely new off-race right there. But it does take a lot of resources and it does take a lot of time, so yeah, that's generally why I'm not good at Warcraft. But yeah, Charm is going to be interesting because it can't actually affect those Spellbreakers, and Yumiko I don't think has worthy enough units to even be mind control. Maybe a mortar team. That might be like the only good unit to take away from Yumiko, but other than that, that's pretty much it. Maybe a priest, but why bother? And Tho is just going to be switching bases. He has taken quite a bit from this main base, and he wants another bit of a pie on this island right here. Yumiko is taking a lot of damage on this town hall. But anyway, there we go with another Drunken Fire combo. It won't kill these peasants, but it did kill quite a few in the initial burst of damage anyway. Mortar teams left and right, actually it's up and down as well. Going to do a massive amount of damage against those Dryads. Spellbreakers, not immune to mortar teams, but I mean, they're not immune to bears either. Bears are going to try and deal as much damage as possible. 1-0 on those bears, 0-0 on those Spellbreakers. And yeah, level 6 has been gained on the Dark Ranger. Let's see if it's just level 3 Silence, or if it's the ability in the ultimate ability. I'm not sure. I really can't tell actually. Even if it's Silence, I just can't tell the duration at all. Anyway, what's more important is the panda is nearly level 5. I mean, we did see how devastating those level 2 Breath of Fires are. Imagine what would be if it's at max rank. So anyway, 63 versus 76. Though, even though he got his expand later on, is making it work. I mean, he's probably making it work more compared to Yumiko right now, but Yumiko is slowly getting in there. Maybe Tho wants to charm an Ogre Magi? Doesn't look like it. So it's probably safe to assume the Dark Ranger got herself the level 3 silence instead of the charm. And what charm basically does is it mind controls an enemy unit completely. Not sure if it goes through spell immunity, I'm pretty sure it doesn't. And yeah, it's a permanent effect. It's nothing like the Infestors, Neuroparasite, or whatever. So this is probably going to be the last fight for Yumiko. He is most likely going to lose his keep tech, his keep in general. So if he loses or if he wins this fight, he will be at a rather hefty disadvantage. There we go with the charm actually. So it does go through spell immunity, and the Spellbreaker has been stolen. So, weird. I thought spell immunity was effective against charm, but obviously not. The Spellbreaker has been permanently controlled for Tho. Once again, surprising that a Spellbreaker would be chosen for such an ultimate ability, but anyway, that is going to be the series. This is going to be this IET tournament in general. Tho is going to be placed first with a prize pool of $8,000. That's pretty good, especially for Warcraft nowadays. So yeah, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this. Either just cast some random replays or go for another full tournament once again. Not sure if I should be doing WCG of 2013 right now. Maybe I'll wait a little longer. But anyway, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this. I will see you guys next time. Maybe soon.